Hello, guys. This is Jackie with Jackie Bible Story 777 coming at you. Please like and subscribe. That's the main thing. And my Cash App is $ Jackie Bible Story 777. In case you want to sew into this message, it will help me a lot, even $1 or $2. Let's get going, guys. The 7 deadly sins. Number 1, pride. Number 2, greed. Number 3, lust. Number 4, envy. Number 5, gluttony. Number 6, wrath. Number 7, sloth. So we're gonna go by this list. We're gonna go by this list: gluttony, envy, greed, sloth, pride, wrath, and lust. The 7 deadly sins. These sins are not in the list, so we have to decipher each one, my brothers and sisters. These 7 sins are a set of behaviors and feelings that are said to lead to more sin. That's why they are called deadly. Um, we would like to go one by one, my brothers and sisters. Gluttony, if limitless desire for food and drink, when a person lives to eat instead of eating to live. Self-indulgent, more generally drunkenness also. Okay, envy, a negative feeling of wanting what others have, often leading to dislike of the other person. Greed, a sin of desire. Covetousness, also known as wrath, anger, and malice. Sloth, a lack of physical activity and neglect of God, which can lead to wasted resources. Pride, a sense of self-devotion, self-justification, and self-glorifying that can alienate a person from God. Vanity, which means vainglory. I never knew that vanity, guys, mean vainglory. We're going to go into this, guys. This is something else. Lust, it's a sinful desire for anything illicit sex, intoxication, ill-gotten gain. Matthew 5:28. But I say to you that everyone who looks on a woman with lust has intent already committed adultery with her in his heart. Galatians 5:16. But I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. And continue. Lust, the desires of the eyes and pride of life is not from the Father, but is from the world. 1 John 2:16. For all that is in the world, the desires of the flesh and the desires of the eyes and pride of life is not from the Father, but it's from the world. Colossians 3:5. Put to death, therefore, what is earthly in you: sexual immorality, impurity, passion, evil desires, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Wrath, a strong feeling of hatred or resentment against someone, along with a desire for vengeance against that person. The term deadly refers to the severity of these sins, which are said to kill the grace within a person's soul and jeopardize their chance of entering into heaven. The sins are commonly ordered as listed above. Wow, guys. But the sins actually originated with the ancient Greeks, not the Bible. They are also known as capital vices and cardinal sins. So, one by one, the Greeks adopted which sin is the deadly sin, but it's all in the Bible. So, that's what we're doing now, guys. Gluttony, Proverbs 23:20-21 warns against overindulgence, stating, be not among gluttonous eaters of meat, for or the drunkard, and the glutton will come to poverty and slumber. Nothing will clothe them. It'll clothe them with rags. Additionally, the New Testament also touches upon the idea of self-control in relation to eating and drinking habits. Have you ever seen a drunkard? That's gluttony. In the bar, they get one beer after another, and by the time you know it, they're all laid out flat on the floor, guys. Or the bar kicks them out. Envy. Excuse me, guys. Galatians 5:26. Let us not become conceited, provoking one another, envying one another. And 1 Peter 2:1 urges, so put away all malice. Proverbs 14:30. A heart at peace gives life to the body, but envy ruins the bones. It also resentment or sadness at others' good fortune or excellence. Have you ever looked at someone rich on TV and said, wow, I have resentment towards that person. They are so rich. They have billions of dollars, billions of houses, billions of cars. Well, guys, it brings resentment towards that person and sadness to yourself because you say, I'll never get that. And then you start feeling envious. Greed. Hebrews 13:5. Contentment is a remedy for the love of money. Luke 12:13-21. Jesus warns against the dangers of wealth, including compliancy, self-sufficiency, and love to-ness. Love, you don't love. Because when you're greedy, who can you love except the money and yourself? Mark 7:21-22. Jesus lists greed as one of the pollutions of the human heart, along with murder and adultery. He puts greed right out up there with murder and adultery. Because have you ever watched these shows like First 48 where the greed, they seen their aunt inherit like a house and they killed the aunt, stuffed her in the basement or something like that, and then they took the house? That's greed, guys. It gets worse and worse. That's why it's called a deadly sin. I know that sounds bad, but if you see the shows, this is all in the Bible. God already knew from the beginning that this was going to happen. Just like when Cain and Abel, and Cain killed his brother Abel, jealousy, and then Abel's cry, God could hear it from the ground. Sloth. In the Bible, sloth is a delay of that refers to lack of love for God, and his ways are a disregard for God's commands. Sloth is also laziness that comes from carelessness and about the commands and priorities of God. A lack of love for God and his ways undermines a biblical doctrine. Sloth. Have you ever visited someone? Back in the day, I visited someone and their house was just so dirty. That means slothfulness. They can't even get up and clean their house. We all have days, guys, that we can't get up and clean thoroughly. But then we have days that we're full of energy and we could do clean our house. So slothfulness is like we don't even care. So if we don't even care and we're not excellent for God, how can he be excellent for us, guys? Pride. Proverbs 16:18. Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before the fall. God is not out to hurt your pride. He is out to kill your pride. Proverbs 13:10. By pride comes nothing but strife. Jesus says pride is one of the many evil things that come from and defile a man. Nothing but pride is not good. Wrath. Wrath is equal to anger. Proverbs 15:1. A gentle answer turns away wrath, but a harsh word stirs up anger. In Genesis 4:5-6 and 4:9-7, wrath, when used of man, is the exhibition of an enraged, sinful nature and is therefore always inexcusable. Psalm 37:8. Refrain from anger and forsake wrath. It leads only to evil. Wrath is like, you ever see a rageful person arguing in a store? Like somebody got ahead of them and they're just wrathful. No, I'm first. And then their wrath leads to rage, guys. It's really bad, guys. So now we know these are the sins and they all have the ability to turn deadly. Gluttony, let's say alcohol poisoning. Envy, let's say murder or jail. Greed, jail, murder, lying, stealing. Sloth, you could die never getting out of the bed, sleeping all the time. That's slothfulness. Pride, too much pride, it gives you problems in your life. So pride can make you all puffed up and also make you treat people like you're better than them. Like, I'm puffed up, I'm better than you, I have pride. Wrath can certainly lead to murder, fighting, getting in big trouble, and rageful. Lust can lead to adultery, fornication, killing, cheating, hurting many people. And that's called lust. So, you know, you ever seen like even you're a lady and a man looks at you up and down? You could just tell that's very lustful, guys. He's lusting with you in your mind. And men, if you're looking up a woman up and down, you already did adultery in your heart with that person. God sees your heart. God sees everything. Try to stay on the safe and narrow and the straight and narrow. These are the seven deadly sins, and they're all in the Bible. And the reason they're deadly is because if you keep getting into that sin, get into sin, it comes real bad, guys. So please like and subscribe. $Jackie Bible Story 777. I thank you guys all. Have a nice day. And please, these seven deadly sins, pay attention to them and don't do them, guys. Don't be envious. Don't be jealousy. Don't have wrath. Don't have lust. Do the best you can, guys. And I love you all. See you next time. Bye-bye.